Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you guys for our August webinar. We're going to be going over a little bit of contracts. We'll touch on the contract settings, and we'll touch on a little bit how contracts process little works as part of doing your addendums. We're kind of going through the contract module. I have pulled up a sample of a addendum, so you guys can see kind of how at least how I kind of set one up. Um, I guess I'll first say. Um, Addendums could be created however you want them to be created. They don't have to be anything specific. It's not a specific format or anything. It all depends on the how you guys set things up in your employees settings. So first thing I'll pull in so you guys can see it. And I'll make these a little bigger as well. So this is the generic addendum that I created. It could be have any kind of verbiage. You guys could use any of these merge field contracts, but this is kind of the default template that I've kind of created and what I've used. But they could look and describe however you need them to describe for your employees. But we'll kind of dive into both of these sheets that I got pulled up. We'll dive into them a little bit deeper in just a second, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of my example. They don't have to be anything specific. So let's dive into contracts real quick. Oops, out of the way. So, one of the first things you want to do is obviously set the contract up. So the first thing you want to do under your contracts module, settings, you want to add a new document. Take you to the same spots here. I've already had one created, but you would add a new document. You would put in the title, first name, last name, their email of the person sending out the contract. So who needs to be responsible for signing these contracts, these addendums to the employees. You can turn on the auto e-sign. That just means that your signature will be auto applied on the signature on the contract form, or you could go in there and issue them manually whenever you assign them on your side. The most important thing probably on this setting, or probably one of the most important things on here, is going to be clicking to download this merge field guide lookup. Why it's important is because this is how you tie in your employee settings, employee profile field settings into this actual contract. And I'll show you exactly how it will pull in just a second. But you want to download this. It'll come out looking just like this. It's going to have the actual merge field. So this is going to be the field inside the employee profile. And then this is how it needs to be set up inside your addendum. So I'll go over that in just a second. But you have your document type. You want to be custom document, contract year, whatever contract year it needs to be, whatever you want to name it, and then upload your addendum here. Contract triggers work the exact same like you're sending out a contract. What a contact trigger is essentially you can select as many as you want, but all it's looking for, if there is a entry in these employee profile fields, then it is going to pull this user up and send this contract to them, or at least give you the option when sending out a custom contract. For this example, supplement note 10. So every employee inside your district that has a supplement note 10, they will be the ones qualified to get this contract. So very important to make sure that the employees, if you want to make sure they receive a contract, one, make sure they're not excluded. And I'll go in a few seconds and go through into pick a specific employee and go through the employee profile and to make sure you have the right settings on. I'll also go through the import process as well. But very important to make sure that your contract trigger that you choose, if you want the employee to receive it, make sure they have an entry field inside there. For this example, we're going to use supplement note 10. And then the last setting here is void after date. So this was basically a number. If I want this contract to void after 90 days, they have 90 days from the moment they receive the contract is sent out. They have 90 days to sign that contract. On the 91st day, this contract will be voided. They will no longer be allowed to be signed it. So the contract to be reissued out again. You can send the notification until an employee is voided. So pretty much on the 91st day, they will get an email saying, "Hey, your contract has been voided." It will give you the reason why, because the days have been expired and it had to be reissued out again. That's the setting page here. I'll pull these back up real quick and show you these. So this is the merge for contracts field. I'll make these a little bigger for you guys. So how I have this one set up, I have a title of my page. This is going to be the school year it's going to be for. The state of Georgia, the county of. I have it where I can just enter any county that I want it to be. It's going to, this right here, employee's name. So I've used the merge field first and then last name. Oh, like that. First and last name. So you would come over here. Okay, if I want to have the first name pull in, which one of these fields is the first name? Here's right here. So I want to put this merge field right here, this constant, hashtag, FN, hashtag. I want to put it here. And then the same thing with last name as well. If you want the last name to pull in, last name should be, yeah. You want the hashtag, last name, hashtag, put it here. So whenever this contract gets sent out to, whether it's a group of employees, whether it's an individual employee, it's going to pull their first name and last name from the employee profile field. For whatever reason, first and last name is not in the employee profile field, it will just show a blank. I have employee social be the next thing that'll pull in. So I'll look for the social security number right here. I want it to be this constant. So you click as easy as copy and paste. And I have a social security number pulling in. So it's going to show employee's first and last name that I sent it to, employee's social security number that I signed into. I also have this agreement is made and entered in. It's going to pull in the month, day, and year. So the month, day, and year of whatever the date is currently when you send it out. And these are in here as well. There's year right here, and so on and so forth. It's in years, month, days, or somewhere. Or you can pull in a date if you wanted to. And this is some generic verbiage, but any kind of verbiage you want to put in here to address the employee, any kind of just specifics that they need to know, any kind of law that you want them to read or anything like that. All your verbiage can be totally customizable for what you wanted to say. So here we have their state base. How I have my example employee set up is they have a state base. They got some supplemental income coming in via whether it's coaching, whether it's music, whether it's some after school program, tutoring, whatever the case may be, second job, working in a district as teaching something else, whatever the case may be, is just some supplemental amounts. How I have my employee set up is he's got some supplemental amounts, and this will tie into it. So he's got his base through the state. He's got his supplemental note amount, and amount 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and I'll pull an employee profile in just a second to show you guys this side by side. But for now, you guys should understand how this works as far as if you want it to pull from the employee profile and you want it to show on the actual addendum that you send to employee, you need to use these constant fields here. And all these are tied into employee profile. So let's go ahead and pull an example quick. Just going to minimize this. Get this up here. Just pull out my little demo employee.
Yeah.
Station. You can see for this employee right here, his state base is, oh geez, I'm not clicking. His state base is going to be 50,000. So that is going to show up here under the 50,000. He's got some supplemental notes down here. So he's got a 7 and an 8. So supplemental 7 and 8 will show this amount. So he's got supplemental 7 note. So note here is going to say tutor. The amount's going to say $5,500. Supplemental note 8 will say football coach. And then supplemental amount 8 is going to be this 15,000 right here. Also for this employee, back when creating the settings, he's got a supplemental note 10 contract. This is going to let me know. So when I select only supplemental note 10 employees are going to get it. This employee will get it because they do have an entry inside supplemental note 10. And then so forth and so forth. We'll go through these big signatures in a second whenever it gets signed. But essentially, that's how it gets set up. If you guys, I just listed a bunch of different supplemental notes and amounts here. But honestly, since I'm only using these two, I only really needed to show 7 and 8, and I did not have to show all these above it. I was just giving you guys more of an example. But you guys could use the beginning ones, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys could use all those and all the way down. The total addendum is going to be this field right here, which is basically this 5,500 plus this 15,000 comes out to the 2,500. That total is going to show here. It's not going to do the math for you. It's very important to know that. So just because you have, supplement all your notes and amounts here and also here does not mean this total addendum does the math for you. All this total addendum is looking for is this field right here. So if your math's wrong, it doesn't matter. It's going to look at this profile field right here. So very important to make sure you do your math correctly. It's always looking for is this employee profile. It's going to show up here. Salary is going to look at this annual salary right here. So like again, we're not relying on your math. It's all it's going to do is pull from what entry is in here. So if your math's wrong, then the form's going to be wrong. But essentially what it is your state base plus your plus all your notes. So basically your state base plus your total addendum is going to be a salary. So this 50 plus this 25 or 20,500 is going to be the 7,500 here. Hoping that's making sense. But that's just one example of employee. What I highly, highly recommend doing is on your HR dashboard, you want to scroll down. You want to, is it page, that's what details. I want to say it's this one. No, employee. Okay. Import employee. Do an import. It's going to make you export all employee information first as a backup. So you want to export all employee details. Next. It's going to have you process based off employee social security number. If its new social security number is found, a new record will be created. If existing social security is found, all details in that row will be updated. Since my contract is, let me make this the biggest thing. Since my contract is going to be based off of having supplemental note 10 as what's going to be the trigger to pull this in. One of the first fields I would like to point out is to make sure if you wanted this employee to receiving a contract and you're sending it like via bulk, you want to make sure that the corresponding employees all the way here to the left have the supplemental note 10 entry of some sort. It just has to have some kind of verbiage in here of whatever it needs to say for that contract trigger to work properly. And this is also where you can go in here and you can put your supplemental notes, your amounts, so on and so forth as a bulk. You can write it one, just like if you know how to work an Excel sheet, you can write it once. You can use it for all employees, only certain employees, whatever the case needs to be. Important little side note. I love getting little side notes based off stuff I'm going over. This employee bulk import process is getting revamped. So there's some missing employee profile fields that we're going to be adding soon. And also the process of this, we're going to be updating soon as well to make it a little easier and also a little better, a little more friendly in doing this process. But essentially, that's what you guys want to look for. Make sure whatever trigger you have in your settings, make sure you have an entry field for all employees that you want it to have it. Your supplemental notes, make sure you have those set up correctly. Notes can be whatever description. I've also seen notes be actual amounts. I've seen all different kind of ways. The intent purpose of it was for notes to be more of a description of what the amount is. But I've definitely seen people need more than, I think the 10 that we provide, they need more. So they would use notes as an amount field as well. And like I said, the form does not discriminate. All it looks for is what is inside this field that I'm going to show on this form. So you can be very customizable how you guys want it to show it. Important thing I wanted to point out. Let's see. One if it's on here or it's one of the updated fields. It may be one of the updated fields. Let me see. One second, guys. Yeah, I think it's one of the updated fields we still need to. But no biggie. Gonna minimize this. Back to employee. Profile. Very important for this setting right here. Exclude from contracts. If this setting is turned to yes, your employee will not get a contract. So very important that this is set to no. If you want this employee to receive a contract, it's going to look for this setting first. It doesn't matter if you have the supplemental, notes in or the triggers or whatever the case may be. It's looking for this setting right here. Exclude from contracts. The answer is no. Also, I'm just going to proceed and look forward to the next, trigger, plus all the information inside the conversation tab. If it's on yes, so it doesn't matter. I don't care what you have behind the scenes. I'm not giving you a contract. So very important. This is on here as well. And this is one of the fields. This got recently separated from ACA. So this is one of the fields that will get added on that bulk import process, which should become within the next few weeks. Awesome. Now I'm going through a little fast. We'll have questions at the end because I know go through fast. We'll go some questions at the end. If you guys have questions as you're thinking of them, please send them now. I'm just going to review them at the end. Um, so now we've got the contract set up in the settings. You've either done it individually, went through the employee profiles individually, or you can do it do the bulk process of updating all the employee information that you want. Now we'll go to the actual sending process. You can send bulk, but since I've set it up as a custom contract, you want to send custom for the year 26, 27, whatever year you're doing this for. I'll have you select the contract. Here's my test contract here. So the important note to show the employees that it's pulling here for me is every employee that's got the supplemental note 10. That's that contact trigger back in the settings that I showed you guys. Very important. When setting the custom contracts, this is how it works. Through the bulk process is a little different. It's going to have you validate if they have the correct profile fields. If it's missing it, it's going to have you change it right then and there. This custom contracts one is a little more different. This is only going to look for the contract trigger. It's going to show you all of them that have it, and then you can send all, or you can send individually, totally how you wanted to send it. These also do sort as well. So if I know the employees I want to send it to, if I just want to send it to just a few, I want to click whatever ones I want to send. At the very bottom, we can generate contracts. We can view incomplete profile users. I'm going to have us on another page. But whenever you're ready, we can generate a contract. Depending on the amount of contracts that you send, I'll say a good rule of thumb, if it's maybe only a few, maybe I'll say less than 10, give it maybe 5 minutes. Anything as far as maybe a few hundred, I'll probably give it maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Could be less than that, but I'll say that'd be a good rough time frame to figure out. I've already went through and sent a contract out. The same contract that we looked at in settings, I've already sent it out to employees. So now we're going to look at it on the employee side. So whenever they get an employee, whether you send individually or bulk, doesn't matter. It's going to come the exact same way. It's going to show that he's got pending a signature on the contract. Go to sign. Here's my contract year, the document type, which is a custom contract. This is the file name that you guys put in settings, the contract the date that was sent. It'll allow you to sign the contract. It's going to make you download the contract first. There's a contract here. And as you can see, those hashtags that we're putting pulled the information that we wanted. We had his first and last name. We have the social. We have the date here. We have the state base. We have the supplements. We're just going to show 5,500 and the 15,000. It's going to show that 20,500, which is in the profile field, and then the total salary, which is the 70,500. If you have the auto district sign, it'll pull up your district signature down here. Once I sign this, I will say, okay, yep, this looks correct. This looks good. No, does not look good. But if it does look good, now the pencil icon will let you sign it. Same process. It's never changed. We're gonna put the last four of your social, your date of birth, and then it's gonna ask for you to type in your full name, and then it's gonna give you an option to accept contract or decline contract. If you decline a contract, it's going to ask for a reason. If you accept a contract, it's going to process through. I believe I have actually, he's already signed a contract. Let's go here. Yep. So I went in, I've already accepted the contract here. So here's your decline reason. If you decline it, you can ask for a decline reason. But here's the one I'm looking for, my custom document, my test addendum, pull this PDF. Well, and there's my employee signature. It's also going to have the Yas default PDF. It's going to have his signature as well when he was signed, sit and sign his employee information in here as well. All in all, that is kind of the process of it. This is like I said, this is my default, what I just kind of put together. So that, hey, what's kind of how Yas is built for. I know a lot of districts use their employee profiles and their supplemental notes and base and all that, very different. But I wanted to give it more of a generic, general. Hey, we absolutely have no idea what this needs to look like, and I just need to send something out. This may be a good reference point, and you can change what needs to pull in, but at least the structure will work for you guys. Um, I'll pause, maybe just for a few minutes, give you guys time to ask any questions. Just kind of go through what we did so far. We went through the settings to figure out how to set up one of these. Went through the process of looking at individual employees, how it's going to pull, look at the merge field sheet, bulk import process, send in the contract, have an employee look, verify it, accept it or decline it. If declines, it puts a reason. Looked at on the PDF side, on the employee side. So if you guys have any questions on just about anything, please let me know. I'll give you guys just a few minutes. Went through and answered some of your Q&As. Just kind of responded back to you guys on here. One of the things that was asked was that I would address to the group was you guys wanted to receive this template. Of course, I'll send it to you guys. Most of you guys do have my email. If you do not have my email, it's M as in Mary dot Britt BRITT at yasplatform.com. If you guys do not have my email, that is my email you guys could reach me at. Once again, it is M as in Mary, period, Brit, Bravo, Romeo, Indigo, Tango, Tango, at yasplatform.com. If you guys wanted to reach out to me, any questions about this webinar or anything like that, you guys can have that. But I'll send you guys. Yes, I see you, Miss Megan. I'll email you this. Perfect. Um, I will send you guys this information. This will always get posted to our communication center. Point that out lastly. Oh, 1 second, guys. Our communication center here, tickets, enhancements, documentation. Boom. You see, we have July's webinar. We'll have the August one posted within probably by the end of the week. So you guys can reference this as well. Awesome. You guys have been great. If y'all need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. You guys have a good day. Thank you.